Okay. So what we're seeing in the real estate industry right now is it's on average, it's 100 conversations for every sale closed. What if that was going to be the one conversation that led to $1 million listing that day? So create those daily standards and then hold yourself accountable to those standards. Follow up systematically, unconditionally, and follow up without exception, meaning there's nothing that person can say that's going to cause me to stop following up.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to a brand new episode of Vulcan7 Coaches and Mentors, where we bring you some of the best in the industry to share with you their tips and strategies so that you can implement them in your business immediately. On today's episode, our guest is going to be talking about lead generation, lead conversion. So make sure to have a pen and paper ready because you're definitely going to be taking a lot of notes. So, with that being said, John Dietz, welcome to the show.
Glad to be here.
So, for everyone that's watching that maybe is not too familiar, go ahead and give us a little bit about your background.
Yeah, sure. So I've been in real estate since 2002. Uh, I built a real estate business that closed 60 homes in the first year and went on to sell an average of over 100 homes every year after that. Um, I focused on the listing side of the business. I built a prospecting based business, marketing enhanced, and slowly created a repeat and referral business throughout the years as my business grew. 100% of the business that I've done is on the listing side of the business. I've never worked with a buyer. I took an average of 10 seller listings every year for more than 10 years. And then a couple of years ago, I leveraged that production business to start my own coaching company and to build a real estate business that I own on a national cloud-based platform. The coaching business is going really, really well. I have a waiting list of real estate agents who want to coach with me. We focus on prospecting based lead generation and lead conversion to take more seller listings. And the real estate business that I'm building is going very, very well as well. I am co-partners of a group based out of North Carolina that has 2,600 agents. Then we started building a group here in Florida that is at 72 agents in 8 locations and growing by an average of 4 to 5 agents every month.
That's awesome. So, a lot of experience, a lot of exciting things happening on your end. A question that I love to ask all of my guests is, did you do anything prior to getting into real estate? Or what did that look like? Or what made you get into this business?
So my degree is in education. I was actually a school teacher. I didn't last very long in that field. It didn't take me very long to realize that there was a better opportunity for me. I had a friend who was in sales who said, "John, you'd be great in sales." He was in the product fundraising business, so I kind of followed him from 92 until 2002. That's what I did. Built a very successful business. And honestly, I got bored doing that. My wife said, "You don't really like your job anymore." I'm like, "No, I don't, but it pays really good money." And she said, "You should get your real estate license." And I'm like, "No way. I am not selling real estate." Then I got a hold of a book that I don't even know it's in print anymore, How to Master the Art of Listing and Selling Real Estate by Tom Hopkins. And I realized, you know what? You can make a living in real estate just working the listing side of the business. And that kind of resonated with me because it's a sales conversation, which I love. And I love the hunt for seller listings. You know, I've always told my coaching clients, work like a farmer, think like a hunter. So every day I would just show up to work, get on the phone, start making calls, mostly calling for sell by owners and expireds and converting those conversations to appointments, which turned into seller listings.
That's awesome. It's always exciting and, great to hear what coaches and their backgrounds are. And it sounds like even though you didn't go into education or teaching, that's what you're doing now, but to agents and kind of teaching them exactly what worked for you and how to succeed, right?
Exactly. That's what I do.
So, when it comes to lead generation and
Yeah.
specifically focusing on listings, which I love listings, I think it's a great source. What are you teaching your agents right now, or what are some of the things that they need to be focusing on?
Yeah. So first of all, most real estate coaches will tell you qualify and only go if if it's a listing appointment. I think that's a mistake. I think we're judging away a lot of opportunity if we do that. So I tell my agents the purpose of the call is to get the appointment. So if you're an expired listing, for example, Loida, I'm calling you, hey, Loida, John Dietz, local real estate expert. I noticed your home came off the market. Are you still interested in selling your home? If I had an offer on your home, would you want me to bring you the offer? And they're going to have some objections, which is fine. You'll overcome those objections and you'll convert those conversations to appointments. My contact to close ratio when it comes to scheduling an appointment with an expired listing or with a for sale by owner is I'm going to convert about 75% of those conversations to appointments. The other thing I'm telling all of my real estate agents that I'm coaching and also the agents that are part of my team is set daily standards for how many calls you're going to make, how many conversations you're going to have, and how many appointments you're going to schedule. And you got to schedule at least one appointment every day with somebody who is thinking of selling their home. Now, when you do that, you're face to face with 250 potential sellers every single year. And then it's systematic follow up in order to create emotional proximity. And emotional proximity simply means that when I get serious about selling my home, I'm going to look up and I'm going to hire the real estate agent who did the best job of following up with me in order to create emotional proximity.
Absolutely. So when it comes to follow-up, I know that that's a very popular question, especially, sometimes with for sale by owners or expireds, depending on what they say. Is there a rule of thumb that you go by in terms of follow-up, whether it's calling, texting, visiting in person, sending something in the mail, or what can that look like?
Yeah. So I'm going to follow up at least once a week for the first 4 weeks. And then I'm going to follow up every other week for the next 2 months. And then I'm going to follow up every month after that. And I tell my agents to be pleasantly persistent and to follow up without exception. Be persistent without exception. Everybody says they're persistent until they're not. And the difference between failure and success in this business is following up without exception. So I've had a lot of sellers over the years tell me, John, if I ever list my home, I've already got an agent. You don't need to call me. And my response to that has always been, I understand, and I'll call you in 2 weeks. Or, John, we're never going to hire you. No worries. Talk to you in a couple weeks. And I just keep following up because if I do, they can change their mind. And if I don't, they're never going to work with me. The other thing that everybody should pay attention to is nobody's ever going to change their mind, but they will make a new decision based on new information. So, one of my goals in those follow up conversations is to help that homeowner make a new decision based on new information. So, for example, Loida, if you're a for sale by owner and I'm following up with you and you're not getting offers, your home's not selling, but you're frustrated because you don't know why your home is selling. One of the questions that I would ask you is, what does a really good buyer look like?
Mm.
And it's funny because I've written 2 books on this. People look me up on Google or Amazon, they'll find me. Scripts for Success in Real Estate and Rainmaker, a blueprint for success and lead generation. And when a seller says, when I ask a seller, what does a really good buyer look like to you? Their answer is always the same. It's somebody who could afford my home. And my response is, got it. Can I share with you what a really good buyer looks like to me? A really good buyer is somebody who sold their home yesterday and they need to buy a home in the next 30 days. Or a really good buyer is somebody who's in town for the weekend to buy a home. Now, if you were that buyer, are you out driving around looking at for sale by owners, or are you working with a professional like me? And they're going to respond, well, of course, I'm working with a real estate agent. Now, if you're the agent who's working with that buyer, are you out driving them around looking at for sale by owners, or are you showing them homes that are listed by a professional like me? And their response, of course, is, I'm showing them homes that are listed by a real estate agent. Okay, so if you're not attracting a buyer that we just described as a really good buyer, who are you attracting? And the only answer is everybody else. Now, if I could show you how I could sell your home for more money in the least amount of time, would you be interested in seeing how I could do that? And it's a really good question because I'm not asking you, can I come over and talk to you about listing your home? I'm asking, it's a curiosity question. Loida, if I could show you how I could sell your home for more money in less time, are you at least curious to see how I would do that?
I love it. Everything that you just mentioned right now, I think the audience, once they're watching this, they're going to have to rewind and play it like 2 to 3 times because, like I said, everything that you just mentioned, I haven't really heard anybody using it. And
Yeah,
again, it goes back to obviously you and your coaching. You've done this so many times. And I believe this is what separates you and your agents from every other agent that's calling these for sale by owners. And even asking, what does a really good buyer look like?
yeah.
Even the way that you described what a really good buyer looks like to you as an agent, I don't think many agents would even know how to explain that to a for sale by owner or an expired.
Yeah, so it's you're not wrong, and it is a really good example of somebody making a new decision based on new information. So now you have a homeowner who's like, you know what? That makes sense. Why don't you come over and tell me what you would do? And this is somebody who has told you over and over again they're never going to list their home, which is fine. Uh, 75% of for sale by owners will eventually hire a real estate agent. I know that. So it's just all numbers for me. I'm going to make sure I hit my standards, go on appointments, and follow up.
So, do you also suggest agents do previews on for sale by owners or expireds or properties?
100%. So that's the first appointment. That's what comes after you ask the question, if I had an offer on your home, would you want me to bring you the offer? Now, in order for me to bring you an offer, I need to see your home. I need to come over. I need to pop by. Use those words. One of the reasons agents are getting no is because they think you want to move in with them. Let them know it's going to be a short meeting. I need to pop by, ask you some questions, take some notes so I could potentially bring you that offer. I've got this afternoon at 4, would tomorrow at 3 be better for you?
Mhm. So, what do you think are some of the mistakes that agents are making when it comes to converting leads? Maybe is it what they're saying? Is it what they're not saying? Or what do you think?
So there's 3 questions every seller is asking themselves about real estate agents when an agent shows up at their door. Even when a seller says they're not going to hire a real estate agent, they're still asking themselves those 3 questions. So whether agents know it or not, they're always being interviewed. And the 3 questions that those sellers are asking about you, the agent, are, can I trust you? Do you care about me? And can you help me? So everything that I do on that appointment is done intentionally to convey, I care about you, you can trust me, and I can help you.
Mhm.
The other mistake that real estate agents are making is they judge away opportunity. And I hear it all the time. They'll call me and they're like, John, I did exactly everything you said. It's amazing. I got the appointment. And as soon as I hear but, I know they're going to tell me some reason why it's a bad opportunity. The seller's unrealistic. They want more money for their home than it's worth. They're not willing to pay a commission. All this stuff that I call white noise, and I tell my agents just ignore it. It's noise. Uh, if you judge away the opportunity, you're not going to follow up. But if you follow up with everyone that you meet with unconditionally, systematically, without exception, uh, a large percentage of them are eventually going to hire you.
So when it comes to expireds, let's say we have agents that are prospecting expireds, they're reaching out, but the expired might say something along the lines of, we sat on the market for a long time. Right now, we're not even sure what we want to do. Homes are sitting. There's so many in our area. What is the approach that you train your agents on when it comes to taking those listings?
So logic makes us think and emotion makes us act. So I need to get to emotion with that expired seller. So I'm going to ask them, just out of curiosity, if your home sold, where were you moving to? And what's important about moving to Tampa, for example? Have you given up on that goal? It's a really powerful question because nobody wants to give up. Nobody wants to be a quitter. Have you given up on that goal, or do you still want to move to Tampa in order to be closer to your family? In my experience, when a home doesn't sell that should have, like yours, it comes down to one of three reasons: either price, presentation, or marketing. Now, just out of curiosity, which one of those do you believe is the reason your home didn't sell?
Mhm.
And whatever they say, I understand. And not only could I potentially bring you an offer by seeing your home, but I'll also be able to tell you why your home didn't sell.
Exactly. Awesome. So tell us about your coaching and what you do with your agents, because I'm sure that after, the last couple minutes, agents watching this are probably going to watch the replay a couple times and maybe they want to learn more from you. So tell us exactly everything that you have going on with your coaching.
Well, I started John Dietz coaching after working for one of the national coaching companies and interviewing with these other coaching companies as a coach. And it seems like all of them are charging their coaching clients $1,000 a month. Seems like the going rate. Part of the money goes to the organization and part goes to the coach. And I thought, if I start my own real estate company, I can get rid of the middleman and they're working directly with me. Not only can I provide real estate agents with a proven um, model to follow that's going to get results, but I can do that at a discount. So my coaching fee is only $500 a month. It's a bargain. My own clients are telling me all the time, John, raise your rates. I'm like, no, I'm not going to. And I believe because I'm getting results and because I'm a good deal, I've got a waiting list of people who want to coach with me.
That's awesome. So if someone is interested in possibly getting on that waiting list, where do they have to go?
Well, my website is John Dietz Coaching, or they can reach out to me by phone. Am I allowed to give out my phone number here?
Yes, absolutely.
So my phone number is 727-686-0404, or they can email me at Coach John Dietz. Dietz is spelled Dietz. So they can email me at coachjohndietz@gmail.com.
Awesome. So as we wrap up, what would you say are three things that agents need to be doing right now if they want to make sure to have a successful 2025?
Okay. So what we're seeing in the real estate industry right now is it's on average it's 100 conversations for every sale closed. So depending on what your goal is, begin with the end in mind. This is how many homes I want to sell. Then the next thing is create a daily standard for how many people you're going to speak to. Always hit your standard. If your standard is 20 conversations a day, it's 20. It's not 19. It's not 18. I see agents settling all of the time. And the biggest challenge for me with that is if I stop at 18 conversations, I didn't have the 19th or 20th conversation. What if that was going to be the one conversation that led to $1 million listing that day? So create those daily standards and then hold yourself accountable to those standards. You also have to find one person every day that's thinking of selling their home and get face to face, belly to belly with one potential seller every single day, and then follow up. Follow up systematically, unconditionally, and follow up without exception, meaning there's nothing that person can say that's going to cause me to stop following up.
Awesome. Yes. Well, John, thank you so much for coming on here on Coaches and Mentors. I know that you have given a lot of great information. Even, the lines that you use and what you say are things that agents are going to be able to apply once they watch this. So thank you once again for being here. And for all of you that are watching, we'll see you on the next one.
There you go.
Bye.